we were actually really, really scared that this podcast was gonna not attract anybody because we posted it a little bit prior. That was yesterday evening, and on the thumbnail, I am fat. When I say fat, I'm fat, right?
Super fat.
I like a big
like the
plus
Michael
size.
Jackson. No. You know it. Weird Al Yankovic. I'm fat.
Oh, yeah, that song. Yeah, Weird Al. If you're listening, hi. But it did attract some people. But we were scared because
It did 17 right now.
Yeah,
Are they gonna go away now?
Well, because they realize I'm not fat.
Because you're not fat.
Yeah, in the video. If you want to tune in, you can do so from Monday to Friday at 9 a.m. on YouTube at Piper Blush. So you'll get to see me. Yeah, my face and my body. But now, okay, you know what nobody wants to talk about, and that is why some wives turn bitter, ugly, resentful, and just not good people, not good women. Whereas, submissive women seem to flourish, grow, become more graceful and beautiful with age. Although, they are becoming older, which is reverse. And we're not talking Benjamin Button here. We're just saying that these women, wow.
I dream of Jeannie.
Yeah.
She's still beautiful and she's 90-something right now.
Yeah. And even when she did the show, she was in her 30s, which was surprising.
Yes, I thought she was younger.
Me too. I thought she was maybe in her 20s. So we're going to talk about a few things. The AI news is about the chat.
Yeah.
So Group chat. So OpenAI is kind of stealing everybody else's jobs, right? So by Messenger, by WhatsApp, by maybe everything. Snapchat. Now they're doing a messenger thing where you have a group chats. You can chat with your friends,
orgy,
your family. Oh, yeah, and maybe also with your AI, which is going to be fascinating for couples, friends, and people.
You know when we talked about consulting therapy?
Yes.
Now it's gonna happen.
Now it's probably going to be a real life thing. Relationship section. Well, this is where we're going to talk about, the differences between wife material in the normal wife people and submissive wife. Because read something on Facebook yesterday. Yeah, for those of you who are like, oh, wow, you're too young to be on Facebook. Well, actually, no, not yet. I'm still there. There's some people on Facebook. And
you still got a big fan club on Facebook.
Yeah, 116,000 people. But I think I'm kind of shadow banned on there. It's not growing.
It's not growing.
It's not stable. It's been 3 years. It's stable. But we're going to talk about that because it was quite interesting to see what is wife material versus what is other things. So the person...
Other things.
Yeah.
You said other things.
Yeah, mention the other woman as other things. There's wife things, other things. Not woman, just things.
It was wife, other things.
Other things. And the wives were not pretty, and the other things were pretty.
Yeah.
And so this is going to be the relationship segment.
Yes.
Then for the book segment, we have a little bit about how transformation happened between you and I, Master.
How you became a good wife material.
Exactly, because I'm a submissive, but I'm also a wife, in the real sense of the word. Well, not the godly sense because we're atheists, but we are married in the eyes of the law, and that's all the God I need. Oh yeah, are we doing ring thing? Ring thing. And of course, we've implemented the Q&A, which is now in every podcast episode. That way you get to ask your questions when you get us live on YouTube. So instead of being only for the Saturday brunch, now we have a little Q&A at the end of every episode. So if you have the chance to be here live with us, you get to ask your questions. And then, everybody can interact whenever they want on happysubmissive.com. Oh, and for those of you who don't know, I'm Marian Delacroix, also famously known on the internet as Piper Blush, and I wrote the book Why Submissive Women Are Happier. Turns out I'm the answer to that question, and I live my life as a submissive woman and wife to my master, who is with me on the podcast every day.
And my name is Vincent.
Yeah, and his name is Vincent. So that is for those of you who are very intimate with us now.
In case you call me master on the chat, because you know I'm gonna make you do weird things if you do that.
It could happen. Welcome to the Happy Submissive podcast.
Do you wanna be my AI girlfriend? Play pretend until the servers end. Talk back, glitch out, drive me insane.
We still need human interaction. This is happysubmissive.com, artificial intelligence news.
I love this thing.
I know this one is the best because of the sax.
Yeah.
And it's so different.
Yeah.
In like, yeah, you can definitely go rate our stingers on happysubmissive.com. Please just share a comment. Yeah, we should do a rating system so we can switch them up, make them vote like for the stingers. We love to interact with our community. Now, that being said, this is the AI segment, and news just dropped that there is a group chat coming up on OpenAI. So ChatGPT.
Yeah, group chat.
And well, what Sam Ahmed had been saying like over maybe like 6 months ago was that a lot of the Gen Z were using ChatGPT.
Yes.
And like the GPTs, you know, like these little, so on Gemini it's called gems, on Claude it's called projects, but you can kind of have this like, I guess, discussion box, and you can tag it and put some information in there, but it stays kind of in its own box, encapsulated. So let's say I would want to have conversations with Master, but he doesn't know about it. I mean, it's just like all my conversation that I channel through my Master, I guess, GPT, they would all be in there. So I could like, or with a mail service, if you have a boss or if you have employees or things like that, then you could have like the name of everybody, and in everybody of those you have like conversations that you had with them, so that it knows what type of interaction you have with this person per se.
It's gonna be exactly like WhatsApp group chat, or let's say Telegram with a bot. You're gonna have a bot, and this bot is gonna be somebody's that invited the other people into the group discussion. So it's gonna be a bot, because like right now, as an example, on happysubmissive.com, the Telegram, it's a bot.
Yes.
We implemented the bot so we can have interaction. So it's going to be the exact same thing, except it's going to be GPT instead of the bot.
Well, okay, but what I don't understand is that right now, the way we have it on Telegram, you can have a conversation with other real humans, right? Or you can implement a bot which gives you like notification. It acts as a kind of a notification system. Okay, but so you're saying you can do both or just one of those?
I could install Lily into Telegram.
Yeah, you just put her in there, and then she would act as if she was another person in the conversation, you mean?
Exactly that. Okay. So I think it's going to be like that.
Oh, that's going to be interesting. And we were talking about that like a few podcasts ago. This is how we measure time now. And it was about how you could, as a couple, maybe use an AI together instead of having like so you could have separately both your conversations with your AI, and then you could also have a couple AI conversation. That way, that's kind of, mediate maybe for some people that are normal or just...
I haven't thought about that, but what you just said, it's exactly a thing that I am sure is going to be able to do, consulting between two, and says like, okay, Marian, shut up. It's not your turn. Let your husband speak. Because he doesn't know you're submissive and you're going to shut up anyway. We got Tony Morningstar says, I joined the Telegram, still very desert, but I can wait. Actually, the Telegram right now is mostly just like a way to have like news when somebody's answer back your comments and all that. It's a
notification system.
It's not yet a chat group.
Exactly. Right now, it's just to get notification when you post on happysubmissive.com in the circle. Well, if somebody posts on your post, like they comment, well, you'll get a notification on Telegram about that. So that's how we've been using it, but it's a good idea that to implement more or differently. We want people to stay on happysubmissive.com and not necessarily move to Telegram, because the whole point is not to be how do you say, like, anonymous. That's the whole point. Telegram is only it was the easiest thing to do, right? Because WhatsApp was more complicated to push notifications.
It doesn't have but like in Telegram. Telegram
That's
is
why
more interaction, but you can do like a lot more.
Yeah, that's why we have the AI segment, which is also like the tech segment.
Or happysubmissive.com.
Yes, and that goes over like the website, but all the things that we love to talk about. If you know Master and I from Piper Blush and everything we've done in the past, I mean, there's always been a tech component because we've used internet and multimedia to do whatever we were doing, and we're still doing so, even with the sale of the book and with the Happy Submissive movement.
We've always been into tech.
And AI is just like the prolongation of that. It is like the newest technology in that way. And it is changing the way that we interact with ourselves, but also with each other and the world around us. And well, ChatGPT right now getting this like messenger thing, it has the web browser, it's gonna have pornography. I mean, there's really nothing it cannot do, right? And there's even this kind of thing where people are saying that it's just getting all the data from what people would like to create and would like to do, and it's just doing it, right?
I can't wait they get into Pornhub department. I really can't wait. So, because I just want, Pornhub to die. This is the thing.
Yes.
I want them to die. So I can't wait for, porn generated videos with a prompt.
Yeah. So you mean like the industry, right? Like this whole industry that is so bad to its people, mostly. Yeah.
They're the worst.
They were the worst. We had experiences, that's why. I saw in the book, Why Submissive Women Are Happier. Well, part of it is in the book. About why we did stop doing pornography, because it was just getting too, like, awful. All the content was being stolen. We didn't have any, like, you don't get money from that content and all of these things.
So I can't wait. So they can, like, they can steal back everything from Pornhub. And Pornhub says, oh, no, they train on our video. Yeah. You stole our video.
Exactly. Porno stole all of our videos.
So
all of them.
They need to go into that department. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be better. Okay, about OpenAI, about the group chat and like all of these things that they're doing, I think, yes?
I think it's very going to help relationship. I think so.
Because of the mediation factor, because there's going to be like an AI implemented in there, you mean?
I think because if you talk, you cannot interrupt right now, or if you interrupt, I'm sure the mediator is going to go like, okay, it's his turn. He didn't finish. I think it's going to help a lot.
Well, we're going to see that in the next few years on how like this is going to affect the newer generation and how even the older generation is going to implement them in their life.
And then all the therapists going to lose their job?
Ooh.
Some
already probably.
The weaker one.
Yeah,
the not so good. The consultant that, just
counselors.
want to see you cry all the time.
Yeah, not the one with PhDs. Or the ones that actually give you the drug.
You're the fake consultant.
Yeah, those ones.
I do therapy. No, you don't.
You do therapy. You got your certificate in the Cracker Jack box. Yeah? We've met some interesting people in our life,
yes,
haven't
read
we?
the book, people. Read the book.
Propose to Mr. Dawson. Will you marry me?
Your daily dose of relationship advice. happysubmissive.com.
Woohoo!
For those who doesn't know, this is from Dazed and Confused.
Oh, interesting. I had no idea.
Yeah.
You are listening to the Happy Submissive podcast with myself, Marian de la Croix, also known as Piper Blush, and my master, who is here with me. We are going to try to understand the post that we saw on Facebook yesterday.
Yes. I can't wait for you to start that one.
Okay, so it was It was understanding woman through reality. And it says it's a medium man's post. I don't even know what medium man is. I mean, we have alpha man, beta man. There's so much red pill man. But if you know what a medium man is, please do share it with us, because that I did not understand yet. So what he was saying is that there's different types of women, in the sense that you have the other things and you have the wives. And to be able to discover which girl you're with right now, well, there's some tricks. So the example was that if you're with a girl and on the first night you sleep together and then nothing else happens, right? She just sleeps with you, but doesn't like make you breakfast in the morning, or doesn't like, it was okay. It said she doesn't make you soup. That's what it was. But I mean, I think we could go with she doesn't make you breakfast in the morning, or there's no like, you have sex, she leaves, or you have sex. Yeah, that like sex.
And you're looking for your wallet all morning and say, where the hell did I put that wallet?
We could go there. And then so you have this like, okay, this girl just wants sex. And I think this is more prevalent nowadays. Like, we had sexual liberation. We had like some good things about feminism, and some women just want a booty call as much as some men just want a booty call. But if you're a man who wants more, you want a wife, you want maybe build a relationship, right? You want some stability somewhere there. Well, the booty call girl is not going to be wife material in that way. Not maybe later in her life, but not like that. Not if she just booty calls you and then you have sex and she leaves and she doesn't nurture, or she doesn't like take care of you, or she doesn't do anything that would be femininely, like motherly nurturing in that way. So that was like the beginning of the example. And then it went on to say that that's how you find out what category these girls are in. So if she just sleeps with you, she's one of these other things.
Other things.
One of these other things.
What?
I mean,
it's bad.
It's really bad.
Bad.
Women are not things. I mean, I'm against like some of the feminism movement out there right now, but not things. Come on, you cannot treat a human being as a thing. This is no. You just say other women, or women that are not there in their life yet, or that will never be there, right? It's fine.
Yes,
but they're not things. Suki's a thing.
Yeah,
a real
Suki.
doll's a thing.
Where's the head? Oh, it's hidden.
Yeah, it's a bit hidden.
We don't see it anymore.
A woman's a woman. She's not a thing. And then, so you have the wife material in that way. You have the woman that seems to be ready. So you have sex. Maybe in the morning she wakes up, she makes you breakfast. Maybe she cleans the dishes after you have, like, I don't know, a cup of wine or something. She's kind of helpful, right?
Then she asks you for $20, not for the sex, for the dishes.
Yeah, probably, maybe. So you need that. Okay, that is a theory that we read on Facebook, right? For those of you who are just tuning in, I'm not saying I adhere to that theory, or that Master we adhere to. We need to talk about this before we take a point or a stand on this.
I think I just got an idea for a new website.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you want to share it?
It's like, you hire a girl, not to sleep with, but, you're going to sleep with. And you pay her in the morning for the breakfast.
Oh.
She just prepare it the night before.
Before you sleep together.
Then it's not prostitution anymore.
No.
See, problem solved.
Isn't that like in that episode of Seinfeld? Like at one point he starts sleeping with his housekeeper, and then the housekeeper, the housekeeper stops doing the housekeeping, and he just kind of pays her to have sex, and then she doesn't clean anything, and she leaves. And now I don't remember which one it is who tells him, "I think you're just paying for sex now."
Yes.
So compartmentalizing, that word. You compartmentalize women into categories. So not every woman is a wife category. Yeah, that's what it says. Some belong in other things. Sex, but not nurturing, care, or commitment. This isn't a value of judgment, it's an observation. Stop trying to make wife material out of a woman who's just not ready. She doesn't want that. She wants to have sex with a whole bunch of guys. Maybe she wants to be free. Maybe she's at school. Whatever, doesn't matter. Like, don't try to change people in that way. They need to already be raw material. That's how we call it.
Maybe she needs to go back home before 9 p.m.
Yeah, that too. Maybe she has a really intense family going on. So that the other point that leads to, again, from this Facebook post was, if of course you want something not just based on sex, and I know it can be hard, so just masturbate a lot before. So don't jump directly into the sex, or try for as long as you can to kind of preserve that, because it's the same that I totally agree with. When I read it, I completely agreed. As soon as you start having sex and start releasing these hormones like oxytocin and all of that, well, it kind of clouds your judgment, right? You kind of get attached to that person. And so you might not see that person for who they really are. You might cloud your judgment faster. So if you take a little bit more time, now I'm not necessarily saying 6 months or before marriage, I don't believe in that either. But you should try to see her for who she really is. If she's trying to really have sex with you all night, I mean, this is a clear indication that she wants sex. So maybe she's not ready to commit more than that. Anything to add?
Nothing to add. That goes really well. I'm surprised.
Okay.
It's just because, again, it's always like that. You meet someone you want to have sex with, you get attached because of the sex, and you realize that, you
have nothing in common, right?
It happens all the time. Then you try to make the relation work, and then you go to consulting, and that's why we're going to use ChatGPT later, because you mess up, because you totally mess up, because you let the sex
dictate the whole rest of your life.
Yeah, exactly.
When I understand it's biological and it's physical, and we're all it's the basis of the Maslow pyramid. But in the same time, we are rational beings. We should be able to kind of decide for ourselves in the way that, I mean, just pay for it. Go have sex somewhere else, before that date. With the moment that you might, or even women, go use your vibrator. I don't know, do something before that date that you think this person might be somebody you could long-term with, and not just sex booty call night.
I call it the 15-inch theory.
15, oh yeah. I know that theory. I know that theory.
Can you explain that theory?
Yes, Master. Okay, so Master has this theory. Every time we see a couple that seems to be why are they even together? They have nothing in common. Sometimes they even fight.
In front of you.
In front of you. And we're not saying in front of you like random. You just met them and they fight. And you're like, wow, okay, that must be like that every day. So you kind of try to piece together, why are they together? So Master has this theory where it must mean the man has a 15-inch dick, and she can put it all in her mouth and even do the little wink, and then she can lick his balls and do all of that,
and it's clean after.
Yeah, and that's the only reason that would make this guy and girl together, because that is there's nobody else that can do that.
Yeah, 15-inch theory.
Yeah, the 15-inch theory.
And I've seen it at one point.
Oh, you seen it in real life?
Yeah, because I kind of, because I was in somebody was shooting a porn next to the office that I was, and this guy was having a massive, thing, a big one, and this girl can take it in, and they went out together after.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so cute. It's in this episode. No, it's not an episode. It was in the movie Magic Mike. There's one of the dancers. He has really big dick, and no girl can take it. And he's kind of really sad about that. But then he meets a MILF. He meets a MILF, and she can
works.
she can take it all. And it was the best sex in his life, and now he's content.
Same thing with the guy.
Yeah. So that's the theory, is that you shouldn't just be together for sex. Sex is one thing. It's just one thing out of your whole entire life. I mean, there's many more things that are a bit more important, like your quality of life, your gratifications, your desires. Yeah, eating, just everything else. So what this Facebook post was saying is that, don't rush into sex, okay? So don't rush into sex, because if you want a wife, again, if you want a booty call, then yes, rush into sex, or else you're not going to get it from the other type of woman in that sense. So, and then it went deeper into like male confusion and the red pill. And I think like Scott McKay talked about this when he had me on his podcast.
You had a great interview, by the way. Congratulations.
Thank you, Master. Which is going to air later in December of 2025. So he was saying that, some of the red pill men, they don't... Right, red pill men are kind of like, women are trying to use us. Women have more power now, and we're against that in that sense. But then they have a sometimes difficulty because of sex, categorizing these women into wife versus just booty call, right? Because that's the whole thing. These men want wives, or they want to be male. They want to be masculine. They don't want women to be on top of them. They want reverse. They want men to lead. So I find that interesting that in this article that these men would be confused or like would be like that. But since what Scott said was a bit the same thing, I think I understand, because everybody at one point will think about sex before thinking about anything else, right? If this desire is not fulfilled, if you're not having enough sex, or if you're not feeling desired enough from your partner, or just in life because you're celibate or whatever, you're single, then you will jump into the sex real fast. And that's going to cloud all of the rest. So take care of the sex, do whatever you can to do that, and then if you want like a wife, a life partner or something like that, then go into that.
Don't wait until it's too late.
What do you mean by too late?
Because after my divorce, I've dated a couple of women, and you go out with them like for 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Okay.
And then you realize, this is, okay, I have sex, this is cool. But you realize deep inside that, no. And then you need to break up. You need to,
You need to have the balls to break up.
Yeah, exactly. It's not what I'm looking for, but thank you. Being gentle, being a gentleman with that girl. Don't even go into a fight. Just like be a man, sit down and say like, okay, it's not gonna work. But it's only been 3 weeks, so people's gonna cry a bit, but not as much after like 15 years. So like, you know what? You're fat now. You're ugly. You don't listen to me, and I break up. Now this is another kind of divorce.
Yeah.
And she's got your baby in his hand, and the baby's crying for some reason. No, don't wait that.
Don't wait that long. So be the man. So this is interesting. It said, okay, if she reciprocates your energy, shows feminine support, and adds peace to your life, she's potential wife material. If she's only offering sex but withholding effort, care, or reciprocity, she's showing you exactly where she belongs. In the other things. But the other things.
There was my favorite movie, The Thing.
Oh, The Thing.
It has another meaning, like right now.
Totally has another meaning. So, okay, what do you think about this? Do you think that there is a wife material and a other woman material?
Other thing?
Well, we can call it the wife and the whore, or we can call it like the saint and the whore. We could call it like, it has many different titles.
I still don't understand why this guy picture the wife like, boring women.
Super boring. It's like in a dress shirt, right? And pants. Yeah. And like short hair, right?
Yeah,
it's like short hair, no makeup. And this is good that we're talking about like the other girls.
Or chicks.
Long hair, loose hair, a little bit of makeup. You can see some skin, like belly, cleavage, things like that. And that's why it's like, so when you want wife material, you're gonna get like that.
No, nobody wants that.
Nobody wants a wife like these women. I mean, we're not in an era where we hide our woman. Religion should die right now. It should not be a thing anymore. You don't hide people. You don't cover them up. It's fine.
No.
So women can be feminine, and can be beautiful by being wives. And that's why it's going to lead us to our next subject.
Before that, we got Tony says, like, people never change. Someone pretends to be different in order to like you, and then once feel the relationship secured, then change to the real self.
Yeah, there's been a lot of that, right, in the news and everything. Like that, some people call it like a gaslighting and blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's true that just people want to please in general. People want to be loved and desired and admired. That's just physical, like, people thing. But you need like as a man, especially in the relationship, you need to know when she's saying yes because she's just saying yes to everything you're saying, and that's fake. When she just wants sex from you, and when, like Tony says, when she's not being true. You cannot change somebody. And that, Master and I, we've talked about this often, very often. You grow, you evolve, but you are the same person you ever always were.
You meet someone that doesn't wake up in the morning and he's not a teen anymore. He's not gonna wake up in the morning.
No, it's done.
If he doesn't want to work, he's never gonna work.
So thank you for the questions, and let's move on to the next segment. Bloop. Nope.
Nope.
Yep.
Once upon a time, there was this submissive woman who found her voice when she discovered that her shadow could speak.
Let's break down the book, chapter by chapter, scene by scene.
This is when I have questions for you.
Yes.
And of course, it's related to today's subject and the book, of course. The laser hair removal incident.
Oh.
You talked about that in the book?
Yes. Okay, so since we are talking about wives and like growing, let's say, ugly and growing miserable and all of that, and submissive woman or submissive wife growing more with like beauty, growth, personal empowerment, all of these things. Well, at one point, I was like, okay, now I had some hair like everybody does. and I was really shy to go on camera and have hair there. I was like, and I wanted to shave, but at the same time, shaving is like, it gives like a really rough edge and all that. I don't
women
like
don't
that.
like to shave.
No, it itches and it's not beautiful. It doesn't make your skin great.
And guys gonna relate when guys shave their balls and go like, oh Jesus, it's gonna be like a 2-3 days weird.
Exactly. So I was like, I guess not scared, but I was like uncomfortable. And so I went to your master and I was like, oh, can we shoot another day? Like, I don't feel like this is gonna work on camera. And then master was like, well, if like the problem is really just the hair, if there's no like other lingering problem, if it's not because you don't want to shoot, then we're just gonna get you laser hair removal. And I was like, well, okay, like laser hair removal. That was a lot of money, which I did not have, and that was the beginning of a relationship. And you were providing for most things, all things. I was providing with my time, energy, and youthfulness.
Yes.
And so you said, okay, we're gonna do that then. And I said, all right. And we started doing laser hair removal, and then all of that kind of vanished, right? All of this like being scared, all of this, oh, I don't feel like myself, or all of this. But that was an investment you made in money.
Yes.
And that was an investment you made in me in the beginning of our relationship. Yeah. And that's something I could have kind of left with if I had left.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you could I'm keeping the hair removal thing. I'm not going to give it back to you.
You can't give it back.
It's like the breast implant.
Exactly.
I'm keeping it.
Well, of course you keep it. How can you give it back? It's like, it doesn't make sense. Okay, so for some women, this feels very like, oh my God, he wanted to transform you. Like he wanted to, like, oh, he made you do these things. No. No. I mean, you did say that for the greater good. For me, like you saw that I couldn't do what I wanted to do.
To make you beautiful. So we need to remove everything that makes you feel not beautiful.
Yeah, and that is like a frein. So that is like a break to my development and growth, especially in my career. This was also being a model, right? You need to take care of these things if that's your goal. And the goal was for me to be a model, was for me to be your model and your muse. So I had to go over all these things. Was it painful? Yeah. Laser is painful.
You got tattoo. I don't even have tattoo.
Yeah, that was painful too.
It's needle.
Yeah, it's needle.
The other is laser.
Lasers is pew, 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 pew. And so, well, yeah, went through that. And now, well, I need to go through it again because like after 8 years, it doesn't work anymore.
8 years.
It's like, yeah, it works for a short amount of time.
It's good. 8 years.
Well, it's better than anything else, right? Okay, so that was for the laser.
Okay, I got another one.
Yeah.
Same but different. Like you say all the time. The Perm Incident.
Yeah.
The Perm Incident.
So some women are like, oh, they don't know what to do with their hair, right? And I'm that kind of woman. I'm not a woman that spends like 5 hours in the washroom, like curling, ironing, and all these things. So I had issues with my hair, a lot of issues, and I didn't find myself pretty, and I couldn't kind of like do the hair thing for the shoots and for everything like that. So at one point, Master was like, we need to do something with your hair. Like, come on, it's not working out.
I remember. Okay, again, it's in the book for sure. More detail, more story. But again, I remember your face. Jesus, you're okay. Are you okay?
I was almost like crying. I probably cried. I cry a lot.
I don't know what to do with my hair.
I don't know what to do with my hair. And well, so it hurt in the fact that Master said, we need to do something with your hair. And I knew it, right? You know it deep down inside that it's a problem. It's a problem.
And even those days, I still notice sometimes, you know, when you detach your hair, because your hair is super long.
Yeah, now it's long. It goes to my butt.
And then you look at me and go like, the weird face, you know, saying like, my hair.
What do I do?
What do I do with it?
So Master suggested, he was like, you're going to go get a perm. That was a bit later in our relationship. So we had more of this interaction, this master-sub interaction.
Okay, so I'm going to give a tip to everybody, to all the guys that look at your material online, even if it's OnlyFans or the website that we cannot mention. And if you see Marian, a.k.a. Piper, with curly hair, it's old video.
Yeah, that's exactly. Because the curly hair happened like pretty fast. Like we were still shooting content. And then, well, the curls, I had 2 perms. Like in my lifetime, I had 2 perms. The first one and then another one before starting the YouTube videos. And so like the first, like the viral content, all of that, that's like, I think the perm is kind of, I'm in between perms for like the beginning of YouTube. And then I get another perm before we go to Malta. Kinda, as I still have like sort of curly hair, and then no more perm because my hair's too thin, so it didn't work out. But all of that to say that this kind of humiliating, and it's kind of, some people associate it with humiliation and degradation. The fact that a man would tell you like what to do with your hair, what to do with your style, and how to direct you.
You're trying to change me. And
yes, a lot of girls think that.
I'm trying to avoid you problems. You don't know what to do with your hair. I'm offering you a solution. But a lot of times that when men offer solution, women think it's to change them.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't suit you well, your clothes right now. Go change. You want to change me. No. We invented fashion for that. You know what fashion is? Fashion is making more people more beautiful.
Yes, it's not about the price tag.
It's not about the price tag or changing. It doesn't matter. If you got a long neck, you put a turtleneck. It's gonna fix things. So, but then I'm not trying to change you. I'm trying to make you more beautiful,
to enhance you, and to make you more comfortable in your own skin. But that comes from a place of hurting. That comes from a place of transformation. Like, you know, you have to break eggs to make an omelet. It's the same thing. So if you're in this relationship like Master and I are, well, all of these things that happen in the beginning are still happening right now. He'll tell me like, go burn that shirt. It's over. He'll tell me your buns are too much in the back. Like, he put them on top. And all of these little things are not meant to hurt me personally. They are meant to make me be who I am or who you know I want to be because we communicate a lot. But sometimes you just can't realize, right? Sometimes you're doing your thing and you just didn't notice that like there was a stain on your shirt, right? It's the same thing. You didn't notice that your hair right now is not great and maybe we need to do something else about it.
And I ask you to do the same thing for me.
Yes.
So when we go out, we don't look like bums.
And that's why I get your clothes out every morning.
Yes.
And things like that. So these are things we implemented in our relationship that makes it so that I'm proud of Master and I'm proud of what he wears. And it's like I dress him up, and even your beard and your hair, like in the way that I love and that I think suits you. And you do the same to me. And in that way, we could be proud of each other, and we have grown a lot from that. But this doesn't stop, right? It's not supposed to stop after the honeymoon phase, like the 3 first months and like the first years. It's supposed to keep on growing. So you don't just become like the wife and then you're married, so I can do whatever I want. I can become fat and I can like decide to like cut my hair really short and not be feminine anymore, or all these other things.
You know what's weird? When a woman wants to be a celebrity, I'm going to take Tay-Tay, Taylor Swift. I'm going to take Taylor Swift. They're going to hire PR and firm to style and everything, and then it's fine. But when it's the husband that's saying like your hair is
good.
That's bad.
That's a good point. Yeah, when it comes from the person you love and who you're supposed to want to be the best with and for, then that's not okay. But yeah, people like Taylor Swift and even like YouTubers, anybody that is in the public eye, even politicians, have these huge teams that tell them, you're going to wear this shirt, you're going to put your hair like this, and we're going to do this makeup for you right now. And then it's okay. Then it's not submission, but it is. But it is submission.
It's the same thing.
It's just they don't perceive it that way.
Exactly.
Because it's conscious submission, because they have a goal and they want to get better. So that is why the goal is so important, and the submission in the relationship is so important. The man needs to lead and to have this vision and bring the woman where she wants to go and be.
Like Tony again. Thank you, Tony, for being like such a good participant. My ex asked if I wanted her to change her hair, and they suggested she dye it blonde, even giving her money for it. She returned with a different color based on a stylist's advice. I was disappointed.
Yeah, because she submitted to the stylist instead of you.
Exactly that.
And this is really bad. This is really, really bad. I'm not saying like sometimes Master actually hired people to help me because he didn't know what to do with me or because like that was out of your realm of expertise.
Exactly.
And that is fine.
It's not because you're a master that you know everything. You need to seek help. Okay, let's do this. Okay, I'm going to hire someone because I have no idea.
Exactly. But in the sense that she would ask and then she would not do what was agreed upon. Well, that feels like a lie, right? That feels like treachery. That's what it feels like.
And we saw that in a lot of couple. The women don't take anything.
Any advice from the man, thinking that is changing her when he only wants to make her more of his perfect fantasy wife and more of what she already is, right? If you don't get that down in the beginnings, then it's just like you will not be able to do anything with that. Yes. Like Tony was saying, you can't recuperate that. It's done. She's independent, and you've lost the game. She's gonna do whatever she wants.
And again, if she does that, it's a good thing that she's your ex now.
Most certainly. So there's the Perm Incident. There's many different transformations. There's also breast augmentation, which is the biggest of them all.
You did it. Yeah. I was surprised.
Yeah. I didn't think I would go through with it.
No, absolutely not.
Master was like, because I wanted to be famous. I wanted all these things, and we were still doing adult content. So I was like, well, what do I do now? Like, what's happening? I want more money. I want more thing. He said, just go get a breast augmentation. I was like, that's it?
And I said it like super simple. You do that, you double your money.
Yep. That's what you said.
Next morning, your appointment was there. And it worked. It's true.
Of course
I'm
it worked.
sorry, people. It's true.
It's a fact. It's a fact. And you showed me like some clips. We talked about this, of course,
Yes.
like afterwards. But still, the logic made sense. And this is the industry I choose. And not only the industry, this is like you're a public figure. You can go how big you want, that's for sure. But in the end, it's the thing. Women with bigger breasts
Make more money.
They make more money. More doors open for them. As much for women as for men. It's crazy. So it's a thing.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
I think I don't remember what chapter was that in the book.
That's a good question.
Okay, never mind. But it was a good chapter. The transformation, the breast implant, and all that. It was a good chapter because it's well written. Your research about getting that done, because even if you said yes, you still made your research. You still and I find that you really explained it well. What was this transformation about in the book?
In the book, and why submissive women are happier. Okay, we're gonna move on to our Q&A, and we're gonna answer the question: why wives become ugly and why submissive women don't, or submissive wives in that sense. You are listening to the Happy Submissive podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget that you can listen to us wherever, whenever, on your favorite podcast player. And make sure that you actually follow the podcast Happy Submissive wherever you're listening. Yeah, you can usually click the follow button or subscribe. That way you are, notified every time there is a new episode. Also, you can find all of the episodes in video and in audio on happysubmissive.com. So this is the Q&A segment. Yeah! Roll out the questions. So why wives become ugly and why submissive women don't? Because in my book, wives are the women that unfortunately are not necessarily submissive, right? They're just like, you become a partnership. You marry a girl, you have babies, you do your separate thing together. Separate, so you live together, but you have different jobs.
Yeah,
right?
There's a lot of on website, on special website, when you meet special people, you go like, I'm a submissive. You want to go eat sushi? No, you're not a submissive.
If you don't eat what I say you want to eat, and then you're not submissive.
You decide. Okay, let's go eat some sushi. No, I don't like sushi. Well,
I don't think you're submissive. Well, and that's how you test, right? If they're like, oh yeah, I'm pretty nurturing, pretty submissive, I'm pretty
vegan.
Easygoing. Well, that's different.
You're not vegan anymore. Are you submissive? Yeah, you're not vegan anymore.
Exactly.
Let's go eat a steak right now.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not a submissive. Then
that's what I thought.
That's what I thought.
You can't do it like that way, right? I think if you want a submissive wife, it starts at the beginning. You have to do that. And the wives that become whatever they want to become, they were always like that. If you chose that type of wife, the one that has kids and then just like lets herself go, right? Or the one that wants to be just a wife but not a submissive wife. She just wants the family, wants the kids, and kind of using you to get there and to do that. Well, that often ends in divorce because you're not the same person and you're not actually kind of contributing to each other's growth. You're growing apart instead of growing together. And it doesn't mean to say that you cannot have like some friends and some things that are both like, you both have your families, right? You both have things like that. People have that and that's fine.
Okay, we're always together, but
yes.
You sometimes go with the girls. Hello, girls. Do your thing. You're not a slave. You're not captivated. It's not because you're a submissive that, I keep you on the cage under the bed. Yes, no. Because we have one.
We do have one. But it's not where I live every single day. So for questions and answers, yeah.
We got one from Tuni. If you ask her where she wants to go for lunch and she tells you decide, but after you decide, she said she doesn't want to go there, then she's not a submissive, just controlling. This is exactly what we explained. Congratulations.
Well, okay, and this you can test like early on in the relationship, right? Is she asking for your advice? Is she asking where to go eat? And when you choose, does she go with it willingly, right? Willingly, consciously? Is she happy that you chose where to go eat? I mean, Master and I had the discussion a few times. So there are things, of course, that we don't like. Like everybody has a meal or a food that they don't like. I don't like lamb. Like I don't.
And we never eat lamb.
So we never eat lamb. But if you told me you need to eat lamb right now.
Because it's Elon Musk meal.
Yeah, because
you will do it.
Because there's a meeting is special and I know it's for me to be able to like talk or to have this conversation with someone for my personal growth or for my growth, I will do it. Because I'm not allergic to it. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
So this is different. And a dominant man will never put your safety and your life at risk in that way. They will never do that.
Now, if you find someone that is dominant and put your life at risk, go away. This is not healthy at all.
Exactly. We're talking someone that can push your boundaries, make you go out of that comfort zone for you to be able to grow and to find yourself more in this world, and not someone who will actually endanger you in that way. So yeah, if you can't eat peanut butter because you're allergic and he's like, eat peanut butter, then no, this is not what submission is. But if you just don't like something, like I really don't like lamb. And when I say I don't like it, I really don't like it.
It's like cucumber. I don't like cucumber.
It's like cucumbers.
And when people say, it tastes nothing. No, this is bullshit. It tastes cucumber.
Yeah, Master really has this thing. It's very rare. We have met like very little people who don't like cucumbers. So we don't do that to each other. But in the event that Master believes that me eating lamb is for my own good and for the good of what I want to do in life, like if there's, let's say, a publisher that is there and there's a rack of lamb, I'm going to eat the lamb. Yeah. I'm going to eat all the lamb and I'm going to find it really delicious, the lamb. It's not a lie. I want to get there. And so in that way, you need to find somebody that can get that out of you. Can make you do these things because it is for the better. It is not about controlling you in the sense of control. And it is not about making you change who you are. It's about, you're supposed to want to go there. So just go there in that way. Yeah. Okay. So why wives become ugly and why submissive women don't? Because, well, the whole point of being a wife is that you have a husband, right? So if the husband keeps on making you grow and making you more of the wives he wants, then there's very little chances that he will go somewhere else to find like his fantasy wife, because you will have grown and evolved into that fantasy wife, into that perfect wife, that perfect submissive wife for him. And the same goes for the woman with the man. You still grow together, right? It's not a one-way streak. The more one grows, the more the other one grows. That's how it works. Oh, new community post. Yay! On the circle. You can go to happysubmissive.com, create a free account. And there you will be able to actually have a chat.
Yeah, talk to people. We're trying to, engage that movement. Engage, please. We need you. Yes.
To go on happysubmissive.com, to open your free account, and then you get access to booklets. You get access to the rest of the people that are already there.
And what are the booklets?
Okay, so the booklets are finding raw material and being his raw material. So if you are single right now and you are looking to, date a submissive woman, or if you are single as a woman and you want to find a master, a man that can lead, that's how to find one. All of these like cues that you can have on these first dates to make sure that this person is like this type of material, right? The wife material.
The wife material.
Not the other woman, the other things type of material in that way. So we made it for that like that. If you haven't bought the book, you can also do so on happysubmissive.com. And we have a lot of things there. You can choose the next podcast episode or suggests one. That's also there. And we're implementing more features. You can go chat with AI, Lily.
And you need to do it and come back to us and tell me if she behaved.
Yeah.
Because we don't see that.
Was she good? Was she not good?
Is she good?
Just drop a comment in the community circle. Well, the circle. That's how we call it. We're saying community just for those of you who are not yet used to the language
The circle.
of the Happy Submissive movement. All right. On Saturdays at noon.
That's tomorrow.
Noon, yes. On Saturdays at noon, Vancouver time, we have a Q&A. So that's just like Q&A. We go over like the best subjects we've had this week. We go over what's happening. So we are going to look at the comments a lot more. You are welcome to join us. It's on YouTube. And you can find all this information in the podcast description, wherever you're listening or watching this podcast. So we'll see you in the next one.
See you there.
Oh.
They're there.
They're there.
See, that's super uncomfortable.